our fourth night of Transformation Triumphs Retreat, 3 powerful days, and I'm excited about ending the evening with bang, for lack of better words, even though I better use that term loosely. And what a retreat. If you've missed any of the recordings, know that Jamie's working hard and as fast as she can, utilizing YouTube. It is slow to upload them up there. By the time YouTube gets them uploaded, does all the checks it does, puts them into high definition. So it is a slow, tedious process, but we will get them out just as quick and as soon as we can. In that aspect, you will notice when you watch the replays that we have already picked dates, times, and theme for next year's retreat. So you're all going to want to put that on your calendar and start working towards that. Infinite possibilities is what Jamie decided to go with name-wise, and the number 8 in numerology. And I'm sure she can give you some of the background to some of that stuff, but I love the title for sure. So we're excited about that. Jamie is our first speaker tonight. And so it's always fun when we get to flip it around and I get to introduce her, but I will follow a script because I usually don't. But part of her bio is she's all about helping people unlock their inner magic, guiding new entrepreneurs to embrace their purpose confidently. Keyword confidently on social media and beyond. She lives a legacy lifestyle, traveling exotic destinations, nurturing family dreams, and fostering peace in her wake. And we are all going to be invited in 2025, 2026 onto her yacht for the retreat, just so you all know that is going to happen. So laser coaching, tailored action plans, holistic practices. Jamie empowers entrepreneurs to create harmonious lives that bridge personal, spiritual, and professional growth. We're all part of that one package, right? You can hashtag Jamie Allen Bishop to find her. Soul Heart Sessions finds some of the stuff that her and I do together, and or her website, jamieallenbishop.com. And so with that being said, Jamie, I am turning it over to you.
Oh, so sweet. So sweet. Yeah, I don't know if any of the other speakers in this room have this same challenge, but it's hard to hear somebody read about you. Or at least it is for me. Something to work on. That's what we're here for, right? Something to work on. Hi, Ziva. So glad you're here. All right, so let's get started. I am going to present this on everyday success. Right. And we have 20 minutes to do 60 slides. So hold on to your seats and hold on to your hat because we're going to go fast. Okay, so everyday success, 3 ways to recognize the success that you already have. We all have success. We may just not be able to see it because we're a little focused on the wrong things. So here's what we're going to cover today. What success is, why you need to care about success, and what the 3 ways to recognize success is for you. So let's talk about sex, baby. Success. Oh my gosh, Freudian slip. Okay, we'll talk about success instead. Oh my, okay. This is completely Jamie, completely authentically Jamie, so bear with me. How far you go in life depends on your being tender with the young, compassionate with the aged, sympathetic with the striving, tolerant of the weak, and strong, because someday in your life, you will have been all of these. I just find this to be such an important quote. I think we all have something to learn from every single person we come across. So these retreats are just not just a labor of love, but truly my soul's purpose and calling is to showcase all of you in your brilliance, because you are brilliant. Anyway, so let's talk about what success is. So I love memes, love these little things. So when you finally find that song that you couldn't remember the name of, but it's stuck in your head, that is definitely success. The logical side of success might follow an outline. You think you have an idea, you try, you do again and again, and you keep going, and then maybe you'll find some success. Here's what success might, or you might think it looks like, but what it actually looks like. It's never a straight line. Absolutely not. Success in having those who you know the best, or who know you the best, respect you the most. You know, John Maxwell is a huge, or we are huge fans of his. So these, I think I have more than one John Maxwell quote in this presentation. But here's how I see success. Learning, training, instruction, practice, and then success, right? Just that easy. Maybe not. Here's how I'm coming to understand success. It's kind of it's a peace of mind, a state of mind even, which is a direct result of the self-satisfaction in knowing you did your best to become the best you are capable of becoming. You know, it's a work in progress. I think I've heard that said by every single one of the speakers. Every single one of us is a work in progress. We are not there, and that's okay. We're perfect just as we are. So here's how I strive to experience success. Being your true self is the most effective formula to success that there is, because there's nobody else exactly like you. Even twins, right? You can't even say that twins are exactly like each other. In fact, they're usually the polar opposite of each other, personality-wise. They may look alike, but they are not the same. So balance to me is something that I work toward. I talk about the overall balance of wellness within a person and within their soul and within their life and how it shows up. We're talking emotional balance. We're talking financial balance. We're talking intellectual balance, physical balance, and then of course the spiritual balance. So when I came up with when we came up with the idea of bridging the gap between personal and professional development for these retreats, it was absolutely on purpose, because there's the personal development realm and the professional development realm. But very few people talk about that place in the middle, which actually takes up most of the majority of our lives, is that it's almost like all of these things are all kind of combined into this part in the middle. So what it comes down to, what success comes down to, is it's whatever you define it to be, whatever you want it to be. So if you have a piece of paper, and if you are somebody who enjoys taking just a moment, I know I'm going to be like rushing through these, but take just a minute to define what success looks like to you, even if you're just coming up with it in your mind. Can I hear anybody, if anybody's willing to maybe shout out what one piece of success might look like to you?
Fulfillment.
Beautiful. Fulfillment.
Happiness.
Happiness.
Love.
Being at my peaceful center.
Peace.
Growth.
Growth. Love it. Beautiful.
Being a good listener.
Oh, love that. Absolutely. We have 2 ears, 1 mouth, right? We're supposed to listen twice as much as we talk. Or so I'm told. All right, moving on. Thank you. That was perfect. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, but not one of you mentioned tangible items. So, and I know that we're in a very unique group in that we are spiritually developed. We are people who enjoy what we're pursuing in life. We love the idea of growth and challenge and overcoming obstacles and all that kind of good stuff. That's different. It's different for each one of us, right? So I have to, excuse me, just a minute, in alignment with our own values. Yes, 100%. All right, so back to the slideshow. again, none of us talked about anything tangible in that, which tells me that y'all are, you're on your way. You're good. Why care about success? That's what we're going to talk about next. But before we get to that, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about who I am, what, basically, why the heck should you care what I say, right? So life's been a choice for me over and over and over again for those emotional, personal, physical, professional, spiritual. I've lost more than 40 friends and family to addiction, suicide, and disease. I've overcome infidelity, divorce, obviously death. I faced my own health issues, my own mortality. Even I died as a 7-year-old in the operating room, and remember that very distinctly. Chose to come back, chose to be in this body, and it's a choice. It's a choice over and over and over. I've experienced workplace bullying and toxic exposure, literally physically, and then my goodness, I've established support systems all over the world because of it. It's, but because of that, it's kind of hard to find a support system, so every time we move as a family, which we do quite often, I don't know why, really, that whole support system kind of goes away, and I have to reestablish and re-engage and all that kind of good stuff. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my formal education. I have a Master of Arts in Art Education, which basically means I can write and defend a research paper. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts, meaning that basically I freaking love art. It fills me up, it makes me happy, but I'm really good at looking at it and purchasing it, and not as interested in doing it. So interesting little tidbit, side note. I also have an Associates of Biopsychology, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically the pre-medical degree around brain chemistry, which is kind of cool. I also have 35 certifications, and I'm pursuing more because I just absolutely love education. These little ones that are kind of highlighting emotional freedom technique, master teacher guided meditation, master life transformation coach, and master toe reader. Yes, we heard that right, toe reader. All of those are degree or certifications that I use in my coaching practice, which kind of make it a unique little style of looking at things. But I see myself as someone who helps bridge the gap between that right brain self and that left brain self. I can speak to the logical side. I can also speak to that ethereal, spiritual side that I think we're coming more and more and more. And the more people I meet, the more excited I get about how much we've grown as a human race. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm a lifelong learner, basically just a whole lot of expensive paper. What does that have to do with education? Basically, success looks like. If you're not learning, you're trying to forge a whole new path, and it's going to take you a whole lot longer, and you're going to get a lot more tired and whipped and battered and bruised on the way. And quite frankly, I've been battered and bruised enough. I don't need to do any more of that to myself than I'd like to. Who else can say that is the case for them? I think probably all of us, right? And this is Bobby's favorite part of this, but it's kind of like being introduced at the beginning. All these lovely, beautiful comments, and they, every time I read new ones, they make me cry because I'm just that excited to hear that people like me. I love that. I love being liked. But it does show up in my business, which is just such a blessing. I can't even begin to tell you what a blessing it is to be honored by my clients. I mean, that's kind of the point of doing the work, is to help others get what they want. And I get the kudos. It's so great. It's so wonderful. But why care about success? Why should we care? Our brain cares. Let's just get down to the nitty-gritty of that. Our brain is not about change. Our brain does not like it. It does not feel safe. Because our brain is on this constant quest to keep us safe, our brain resists change at every turn. So when we hear something new, or we experience something new, or somebody says, come skydiving with me, and we've never done that before, and we're like, oh, hell no, that's scary. It's because our brain is like, that's not safe, so we won't be doing that today. Our brain absolutely cares about us. Challenges trigger a series of events in our brain that cause cortisol to rise. That fantastic thing called cortisol. It increases our heart rate. It makes us sweat. It makes us challenge after challenge after challenge. And it's called the stress response. But let me tell you something. When we experience this, all we're doing, if we believe in this law of reciprocation and the law of attraction, all we're doing when we're in this state of mind is attracting more things to be stressed about, more things to cause pain and suffering and wreak havoc on our bodies. So over long periods of time, if this stress goes unchecked, it can cause serious issues like depression, anxiety, fatigue, and physical illness. Here's just a little sciencey stuff. We're going to throw that in when the cortisol gets activated from that parasympathetic nervous system. It skyrockets us up into the sympathetic nervous system, which is where that shame, that feeling trapped, all the numb, the helplessness, all those pieces of the puzzle. And adrenal fatigue is a serious problem in today's society because of how much we're going. Everywhere we're looking, we're going. So when we're talking about this idea of feeling grounded and safe and secure and in that green zone, it is so important that we do what Kelly said, which was to slow down. And I honestly, I think each one of us said it in our own little way. Slow down. Stop in a hurry. I'm talking to myself right now. Is there anything we can do about our reaction to a challenge? Of course. Check your mindset. That's why I'm a mindset coach, because that mindset piece of the puzzle is, to me, the piece of the puzzle that makes us able to be resilient. When we, that fixed mindset says, I can't do it. The growth mindset, I'm still learning. Not there yet, but I'm still learning. The fixed mindset might say, I'm not good at that. The growth mindset will say, I can learn more. I got that. I can do that. And if I can't, I'll find somebody who can, right? I'm not going to go through every single one of these on this list because we do have such a limited time. But let me take a quick look at this chat just to see. Great, wonderful. Yeah, no, probably not. All right. So the other piece of the puzzle is perception. It is absolutely 9/10 of the law. And what that means is that what you see may not be the reality when it comes to looking at somebody else's life. But here's the thing, and here's what we do to ourselves. We set expectations on ourselves, and those expectations set us up for perceiving things a certain way. And we perceive them in that beautiful, perfect scenario. But that's never the reality. The reality kind of looks like the shoot up at. Or it can. It doesn't always look like that, but it certainly can. So this quote, again, from the business gurus like John Rohn and Maxwell, or Jim Rohn and John Maxwell, sorry. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is absolutely part of it. And I would wager to say that any challenges are not the opposite of success. They're just a part of it. We have to experience them to be able to appreciate the things that we're going through. So let's get to the nitty gritty. Let's get to the part of this presentation that will help, hopefully, somebody maybe they're hearing it for the first time. Maybe it's just reaffirming beliefs that we already have in place. So stick with me here. What success looks like. Listen, to me, when I think of when somebody walks, when like Barbara walked us through the grounding meditation, when I think of grounding, 90% of grounding is being sturdy and steady in the root system. So whatever that root system looks for you, whether it's going out and putting your feet in the grass, whether it's imagining that your feet have, you know, light beams that hook into Mother Earth and just get all warm and fuzzy and to help you get all warm and fuzzy inside. Whether it's you imagine you're a tree, it doesn't matter how we ground ourselves. It is so important to do so, but growth doesn't happen until that root system is deeply established and can take care of when we become big and we become energetic and we're so much larger than life. That root system has to be able to support us, or it doesn't work, or we can toppling over at the first gust of wind. So give yourself some credit if you're not there yet and you feel like you've been on this road for so long. It's just a little bit further. I tell a story that my that my friend shared with me, and I'll try to be so quick, and I know I'm going to go over, but the idea behind the story is when I was at college in in Arizona, in Phoenix, Arizona, we would drive to Las Vegas, Nevada, and it didn't matter where we were on that drive. If somebody said, and somebody always said, how much further, it was always just a little bit further. So we could be at the very beginning of the drive, or we could be 5 hours into the drive. It didn't matter, just a little bit further. So it brings back that really fun memory for me. And I find it to be very, very true. It doesn't matter where we are on the journey. It's just a little bit further. It's just a little bit further. So let's quickly run through the recognizing success. Your morning routine is so important. Fall in love with yourself. When you fall in love with you, how can anybody not love you is my question. Your quirks are what make you relatable. They make you exactly the kind of person that you want to attract into your life. Somebody who's silly and goofy or is OCD, or maybe it doesn't even matter. It's such a big deal in today's world to just absolutely love who you are at the core of your being. Because when you do, like-minded people will find you. And don't we all just want that? And I'm going to give Maurice up here this the kudos for this quote is, when you see the wonder of you, you give the whole world permission to see the wonder of you too. If you don't know who Maurice up here is, this is your thing to say, to look her up on YouTube. Self-reflection. I think somebody else was talking about mirror work. Okay? Mirror work is beautiful and intense and deep, and boy, does it get to the soul of any kind of challenges that we can come up against within our own being. And for me, what that looks like is I'm going to tell you, the words that come after that are what map out your life, and map out your experience, and map out your perception, and map out your belief system, and map out those thoughts. I am blank, fill in the blank. When those nasty, mean, cruel words that we all tell ourselves on occasion come up, that's your opportunity to reframe. That's your awareness that they're deep-seated, that they're rooted somewhere in there. I have too many wrinkles. I said this to Cheryl like 3 days ago. My nose is so red right now. I have no idea what I'm eating or drinking, but I'm having some sort of allergic reaction, and it's bright red. It makes me crazy. Mostly because I can't figure out what the heck is causing it. But you know, that's me not accepting that my nose is red and I'm going to go through the healing stages of getting it all better, right? So it's just that awareness that we can flip the script. We can look at anything negative that we're seeing ourselves and bring it to the light. For education, so every morning I do, actually it's Jack Canfield. So I know we have several folks who have done the Jack Canfield program in here. But he does the power hour in the morning, which is 20 minutes of self-reflection or meditation, 20 minutes of education, and 20 minutes of wait for it, physical activity. But none of it has to be mundane, or in fact, it absolutely shouldn't be. I welcome you to consider that all of these steps should be fun. So if, you know, I'm just going to go back to education. If reading books makes you feel like it's the worst thing in the whole wide world, I'm talking about my husband right now, he can't stand reading books, but boy, will he spend some quality time reading an article about aviation. So go get a magazine about aviation. Go, you know, look up an article on Google. There's thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of them. So educate yourself on whatever fills you up and brings you joy. I'm going to take 5 more minutes, and if I don't get through it, I will send you the slides. But the second step is your daily focus and refocus. So when it comes to taking energy for yourself during and throughout the day, that's the biggest span of time that we are awake, that we get to literally decide how our day is going to go. Focus is so key to it. So what are we focused on? And I think of it this way. When we're looking through, let's just say a telescope, okay? So maybe it's this big, or maybe it's this big. We don't know. Maybe it's small, maybe it's big. Doesn't matter. What are you looking at? What are you focused on? If you hear yourself complaining, if you hear, like, I'll give you this example, the dishes. For whatever reason, I've not trained my family very well about the dishes, and there always ends up being a pile in the sink. I don't know if it's people don't take the 30 seconds that it takes to rinse it off, but I don't know what it is, but it's one of those things that makes me crazy. So I decided a long time ago, this is what makes me crazy. Obviously, it doesn't make them crazy. So why would I bother nagging them? It's making me crazy. I'm going to take responsibility for it. Otherwise, it doesn't get done, or it gets to the point where I start getting resentful about it. And that doesn't serve anybody, right? So anyway, that's a little bit about that. One of the things about that is it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. This one, you know, when I first started this pursuit of self-empowerment and self-improvement, I was, of course, in it for business. I was in it for, you know, how can I get me some, right? I was in that place. But this quote rocked my world at that time. And it is still very powerful. But how you do anything is how you do everything. T. Harbecker is brilliant when it comes to finances and schedules and how we get from point A to point B. Same person. All right, 1 more minute. Another option is focus music. There's all kinds of focus music online. Boy, does it help my squirrel brain. I am ADHD 100%, et cetera, et cetera. It makes me very, very focused in the moment. So if I'm ever in need of really focusing on something, I have to throw that music on. Otherwise, I'll be like, all right, it's like this is good. Anyhow, last but not least, your evening routine. Gratitude. Gratitude, gratitude, 1,000 times gratitude. It is so important to be grateful for every little thing. Even the things that feel like they suck. Even the things that feel like they're icky and they don't serve you. Because guess what? The more you resist it, the more it will persist. The more you resist it, the more it persists. So be grateful. Thank you for the awareness. Thank you for the reminder. thank you for that. Like, I'm trying to give you some ideas of how I phrase it or how I frame it in my mind when something comes up, when I come up with something that's a challenge. And practice makes everything easier. I don't feel like we're ever going to be perfect in every way. I mean, nor would we want to be. Perfect is boring. So, anywho, journal. If you know me at all, you know that I'm a huge journal fan. So just 5 minutes, just a quick little, you can even set it for 1 minute if you're brand new to journaling and you can't stand journaling. But let me tell you something, when we write things down, our brain believes them. So it's very important to go through this exercise in my personal opinion. There's all kinds of cool stuff that we can hang. Just as a bonus, I'm going to say, recognize when you're being of service. You are being of service so much of your life. So recognize it, give yourself kudos, allow yourself to see that you're amazing just the way that you are. There's other slides. I'm gonna seriously rush through them. If you need help, there's help out there. We have all kinds of free things that you can participate with. I'll definitely get you at this slideshow if you want it. Otherwise, you can follow me on social media. You just need to enter that hashtag Jamie Allen Edition, and we'll connect. So, enough said. Whoop, whoop.
That was a powerful, quick presentation. Fit it in. It's all good. 7 minutes fine. So thank you for all that you've shared. Big time.
Thank you. Any questions really quick?